life is all in the setup. There's a reason why I'm in this truck right now making a video. That's because I enjoy it way more than sitting down at the computer in my house and making a video. And life should be that way. You should build your life so that you enjoy it, because life as a man, the fundamentals are that it's about improvement, about growth, about getting better in all areas of your life. And that comes from you actually sitting down and planning your life on finding out what you actually want and then designing it, because what we plan for is what happens. Where we put our attention is what grows, and everything else gets lost. And the problem for most people is they spend their whole life that way. They spend their whole life never focused on what they want, just in the day-to-day activities, like they're working in their life rather than working on their life. The same thing happens in business. You work in your business and it doesn't grow. As a manager, as the CEO, you have to be working on your business and planning for the future. That's the key of your job, and that's what this video is about. This video is to give you a plan to help you take a more active approach in actually building a life that you enjoy to live. And I've lived in the UK, I've lived in Thailand, and now live in Dubai. I've tried loads of different methods, and these are the things that work for me. First one I want to start with is productivity, and how I set up my life to focus on enjoyment and focus on growth and productivity, and how I actually schedule things into a very busy life so that I still enjoy myself, so I get the things done that I want to do to make my life better, but at the same time I also enjoy the journey as I'm on it, because that's all that we get. You have to enjoy the ride, otherwise you'll look back on your life and think, fuck, where did all the time go? Why was I always working to get somewhere and not join where I am now? So first thing I'm going to do is show you my productivity life system, possibly the greatest system ever invented for managing a man's life, if you're like me and not very good at organization. So I'll bring up on screen how I manage my life through my phone, and you'll be able to see how I do it. I use an app called Things 3. Things 3 is like your notes app, but on steroids. And Things 3 allows me to use widgets. Widgets are those little things you can put on your iPhone home screen. So I use these widgets on my home screen to build out my life, basically. And at the top of my home screen, I have my calendar. And this ensures that I'm not forgetting anything important related to work and other things going on in my life. I then have underneath 2 different notes apps widgets from Things 3. The first widget is things that need to be done today to move my life forwards, and the next one is upcoming things. And if you press this plus button down here, then you get straight into what's called the inbox. So any notes you want to take through the day, you can basically go in there, put your notes, your ideas in, and then you can schedule them into whatever area of your life those notes are meant to go into. So you've got loads of different areas. In mine, I've got set up working on my business, my personal goals, things for YouTube, video ideas, and you just got one place that you can click the plus, put a note in, go in later, organize it, schedule it in a calendar, and that's what helps me move the needle. This is the first fundamental. Before we go into the more complex and more exciting life setup stuff, you have to have the basics under control. If you can't manage your time to get things done, you'll never get anywhere. But with a planner like this, managing your life becomes way easier, and you feel like you're making progress. And when we feel like that as men, we actually become way happier. If we feel like we're making progress in areas of our life, we feel happy. If we're not making progress, then we start to feel depressed. And that's the key to a life setup, is to consistently make progress and improve your life, and improve it for the long run rather than the short run, and do things that can be done consistently over time. Now, the reason why we do all of this is because most people want a life of freedom. Nearly everyone I talk to, every guy I talk to, guys inside of our network, the New Elite, and myself personally, want to have freedom in our lives. Now, the freedom actually comes from the discipline to plan. The ability to plan your days, the ability to stick to a schedule. That's where freedom is born. Freedom is not being able to do whatever you want. I can guarantee you right now, you don't actually want to be able to do what you want all the time with no limits, because there's too much to choose from. You want to know what you enjoy, focus on certain things and improve on them, and follow a schedule. When you follow a schedule, your life takes on meaning. If you live life the right way, anything can be enjoyable. And if you think about the monks and the sort of samurai and ninja philosophies, is that you can sweep the floor 1,000 times a day and enjoy it. And the reason you enjoy it is because you have mastery. You take mastery and care and attention over the task that you're doing. And it's very hard to do that, very hard to enjoy that when you work too much. So what I choose to do instead, the way I've set my life up now, and I recommend you do the same if you work for yourself, is 4-hour work chunks through the day. 4 hours that are dedicated to my most important tasks, to the most important things in my life that I need to push the needle forwards on. And whilst I'm locked in on that 4 hours, I do the work to the best of my ability. I take pride in the work. I take pride in the process of building something good. You have to try and set up a life that you can do forever, a life that you genuinely enjoy. Because if you are working, and I've done it, man, over and over again, I've done it. If you're working 15-hour days, 14-hour days, even 10-hour days, you will get burnt out in the end. There's not enough nicotine and caffeine in the world to keep you on your grind for 10-hour days consistently. And what I found is when work's done in these sprints, which occasionally you need, but when work's done in these sprints, it normally comes with a period of burnout that you have to go and do something else, or you have to cool off, and it interrupts the flow. It interrupts the flow of how your life goes, and it stops you from making quality work over a longer period of time. Which leads me on to another productivity tip. If you are building your own life setup and building your life and you work for yourself, get up, get dressed, get out the house to do your 4 hours morning work in the morning. If I stay in the house, if I stay in my underwear and try and do my work, and I'm just not focused, but if I make sure I get dressed, I put my suit of armor on, I make myself look presentable to the world, that's kind of a win for me in my head, and I get a little bit of confidence from that. Then I have my list to sit down and instantly start doing that was prepared the night before. Sit and do that in a coffee shop where I can't get distracted. There's other people working in there, there's no one else to talk to that I know, and I just sit down and I do my work. So if you're working for yourself, as I imagine a lot of you are entrepreneurs that watch these kind of videos, make sure that you're getting out of the house. That's kind of the lesson 101 in productivity that has taken me a long time to do. But get yourself out of the house and dressed and get ready to battle the world. If you want to go more into the productivity side of life setup, I highly recommend a few books, Effortless and Essentialism by Greg McKeown. They're the two books. Another great book that I highly recommend is The 4-Hour Work Week, which is, I can't do a 4-hour work week. It's not quite possible for me at this point, but I love the concept, and that's where I've kind of settled on a 4-hour work day as much as I can stick to it. But the 4-hour work week for this concept of life setup is really where it all began for me. Many years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I first read that book when I was just a normal life, normal 9 to 5, and it really inspired the idea in me that I could build a life that was incredibly enjoyable, that I made more money in and worked less at something I liked than just sitting in a 9 to 5 office and feeling like my life was sort of slipping away from me. So that's another fantastic book to read. And the final book I'll give you, just put these down on a list, it's by Ryan Holiday, and it's called Stillness is the Key. And it's about taking the anxiety of life away, because that's what we all feel, this anxiety, this rush through every day, this anxiety to get things done. And I love being productive, right? But at the same time, if you cannot learn to enjoy that productivity and the little things you do, you will be rushing all the way to the end of your life and realize there was no fulfillment at the end. You never reached this place you wanted to get to. The fulfillment that you're going to feel, that all the feelings you want to feel, you can feel them all right now. And that book, Stillness is the Key, so it was super helpful to me in figuring that out in my life. All right, the next section of life setup is health, because there is really no point in having any life setup if you can't enjoy it. And enjoying it is about being a strong and courageous man and feeling good and having high energy levels. And I'm going to run you through the systems I've built in my life to stay on track of health so you can put them into your life as well. Now, the first thing I got to mention is one of these bad boys. It's called a Whoop band. I didn't know about them until about 2 months ago. Thing's awesome. I built a community inside of the New Elite, my network, where we can all compete with each other, basically on the scores that we get on this band. And this band tracks your sleep, tracks your amount of activity in a day, tracks your workouts, tracks your overall health. And it gives you a sort of gamified way to track and have accountability, especially if you're in a group like the New Elite, to compete with your brothers about your health. So a lot of people, they don't go to the gym, they don't become the best looking version of themselves, they don't get in the best physique they could get because they don't really feel the reward. Fitness and health is something that rewards you over the long term. You do it every day and don't see results, and then in 3 months time you look back and you're like, fuck, I've totally changed my physique. Whoop is a great way for the people that can't handle that and need some instant gratification. Whoop helps you win every day. It helps tell you that you've been a good boy, well done, you've done a workout and you've got some sleep and you've got a lot of energy now. And even for me, someone that's worked out for years, I enjoy it. I like the pat on the back. I like also competing with the guys in the New Elite and being the guy with the most strain or done the most work or get the most sleep. Bill, my business partner, is actually the king of sleep in our New Elite group. He's getting a crazy amount of sleep. But it's a really cool way for setting up your life, for setting up things in your life that make the good stuff easier. And the good stuff is health and fitness. Now, the next thing you want to do, once you've got yourself a Whoop band, is you need a program to follow. And I recommend you go to the gym 5 times a week. And I think you should go in the morning. I think it's an incredible way to set up your day. And when you're a busy guy and you're doing work and business, if you leave it till later, you're either tired or it can get pushed out the way. When you wake up early, you hit the gym, you feel like you've got a win under your belt. You build that confidence up. And then everything else, that hard phone call you've got to make, those sales calls you've got to jump on, that new decision you've got to make in a business, that video you've got to film, that all feels easier after you've got your first win of the day. And that's what the gym is all about, stacking those wins. And over the long run, if you just build that into your life 5 days a week with 2 days off, over time you will have a world-class physique. In terms of setting up your workouts and the way you track these things so that you actually find improvements, because there's absolutely no point in going to the gym every day, lifting exactly the same weight, never seeing any improvements, because you're just wasting time. So if you're going to go to the gym, you want to make sure you're going in there, you're getting the job done, and you're getting results. And there's 2 aspects to this. Number 1, you need a program. I've got free training programs. You link them under this, do it 5 days a week, simple, done. Otherwise, you can look into coaches and other training workouts and all that sort of stuff. But training is very, very simple. As long as you focus on building strength across the key lifts, you're going to increase your size. And the next thing you need to do, as with anything in life, or off-roading a bit now, as with anything in life, you need to track. You need to track what you're doing with your workouts. What you track is what you improve. And so you track every time you go to the gym, you track the weight that you lifted on a certain exercise, and the next time you go in the gym, you increase that weight. This is really a given, like you should be doing this shit, it's fucking simple. But it's surprising how few people actually do it. Even myself, sometimes I forget to track my weights. Those weights need to consistently go up. The next thing you want to do, in order to enjoy your life, in order to have a good life set up, in order to feel powerful, you need to know what your testosterone levels are. If you have low testosterone, it will be very difficult for you to live a competitive and powerful life because you're running on empty. Testosterone is the fuel that makes hard work feel good. It is the fuel that makes us want to conquer. It's the fuel that makes us want to change our lives. What I recommend you do is get a very simple blood panel done, learn how to read your results, find out what your testosterone levels are. If you're anything under 1,000 nanograms per deciliter of testosterone, you should be looking for ways to increase that testosterone. There's a whole host of different ways. One of them is normally low vitamin D. 5,000 IUs of vitamin D per day will increase your testosterone levels. I've done a whole supplement super stack on this stuff that I give to the guys in the New Elite as soon as they come in to the network to boost their testosterone, because it's the male life enjoyment hormone, and if you don't have it, you're fucking missing out. A super boost for testosterone is 4 eggs right before bed, about an hour before bed. You want to have 4 eggs every night. It's going to give you the cholesterol you need to build testosterone in the night. The next part of your health is sleep. Sleep is so incredibly important. If you do not sleep enough over a long enough time frame, you will become depressed. Your body will work at far less than its capacity. Your brain will slow down. You'll be the equivalent of a drunk person every day with emotional instability. Sleep, there is a reason why our bodies have to sleep, and it's been made over years, years and fucking decades, millions and years of human evolution, that we have to sleep. So don't think that you can do 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night and hustle culture your fucking way through human biology, because I've tried it and you can't. You end up a complete wreck. What happens when you don't sleep is your willpower, your ability to make good decisions goes down. Your whole life goes to shit. The more you sleep, 8 hours, I highly recommend. 7's still not quite enough for me. 8 solid hours of sleep on your Whoop band, 8 actual hours of sleep. There's a lot of time where you maybe 8 hours in bed, you only got 6.5 hours of sleep, because we have small wake up periods in the night that we don't remember. But the Whoop band remembers. So the Whoop band, he's your messiah. He's your guider to better health and better power in your life. When you sleep more, your muscles build better. Your testosterone is made in the middle of the night. If you don't go to sleep till 4 AM, you're missing your key window to make testosterone in your body. Your testosterone comes down. Your life goes to shit. All of that comes from sleep. Once you got those things ticked off, you're training regularly, you're waking up early, you're getting 8 hours of sleep, you're eating a diet conducive to testosterone. Now you've got power in your life to go out there and build the ultimate life setup. All right, boys, the camera ran out of charge again, and but now we're back. And yeah, thanks for watching. Basically, I've just been setting my life up in Dubai. I've got sick, doing a lot of back-end business stuff. I'm a way better version of myself now, and you'll see that hopefully in my content coming up. But lads, oh, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you on the next one. Whoop!